Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Glad to see everyone out there. Hope you had a wonderful evening. Hope you had a blessed day. We are here with Transformations Late Night Chronicles with Pam, and we're here to give you an encouraging, inspiring word before you go to bed at night. So I'm glad to see everyone out there who is joining in. We haven't been on for a while. It's probably just been a week. Last week I kind of took a little break because I had a visit and my sister was visiting out of town, and I really wanted to spend a lot of time with her, and we had a wonderful time. But as we're waiting for people to come on, I just want to share a couple of things with you as people are joining in on us. One of the things I want to throw out there to let everyone know, you can always catch Transformation. We do have on Instagram, and it's under Miss MS Pamela Jordan, and that's on Instagram. So you can always catch some of our broadcasts on Instagram and some of our posts. So if you get a chance to go on there, go on there, check us out, hit your buttons on there, keep us encouraged that you're out there. Follow us so we can follow you. We can keep the line and chain of following each other there. Also I want to put out there, if you have any comments or anything you want to talk about, any topics or anything you want to address, you can always email us at transformation18@yahoo.com, and we will get your emails and all those things. So if you got an event or anything that you want to share, email us and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. Also, I wanted to just put out there, as we're getting people to join in and as they're coming on, is I will be attending an event that I will be one of the speakers at, and I want to share that with those who are local and who are able to attend. It's a free event, so we're there to support. It's called Love Lifted Me Conference. It's February 23rd, and it's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Contending for the Faith at 1006 Academy Street in Wilson, North Carolina, 27893. So if you're in the Wilson area, if you're here in North Carolina visiting around February 23rd, we'd love to see you come out to the Love Lifted Me Conference between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. There are going to be some wonderful speakers there giving words of encouragement. So if you're in the area, come on out and join us. Well, I'm just going to say, like I said, hello everyone. Glad to see everyone. Been away for a while, but we're glad to see you on. And I just want to go into, as always, I want to share my mug that I got this week. I had some, like I said, some visitors that came and visit. I hope you can see it. It says on here, always my sister, forever my friend. And this was given to me from my sister and my niece and my nephew. They watched the broadcast and they saw that I been collecting my mugs, and I really enjoy my mugs, and this is a real good one because it's really tall and big, so I can get a lot of stuff in here. I love it. So they brought me a mug when they came down. So those of you out there, if you have a business and you deal with mugs that have words on them, and if you want us to advertise them for you and put them on our broadcast, hey, please hit me down the comment buttons. Let me know. Hit some likes and some shares and let me know, and we'll be glad to advertise your mugs for you, because we're here to encourage and inspire and lift each and every one up. Alrighty, so we're going to jump right on in to what we're going to be talking about tonight. And as we know, we're in the month of February, and this is the month that most singles, we kind of go through a little, I don't say depression, but we kind of go through we get a little funk. Let's put it like that. We get a little funk around this month of February because we're out shopping. You're starting to see all the balloons that are popping up, the love and all the teddy bears, and we're starting to see all the candy and all the hearts, and all those things are starting to pop up in the stores. And for a lot of singles, this month becomes kind of dreary, and as I said, you get a little funk because you know it is Valentine's Day is coming up, and this is all considered the month of Valentine's Day. And I'm just want to encourage all the singles out there, male and female, that just be encouraged. Try to do something different. I know we can get in those funks because we see all the things going on, and some are out there. Some people are out there and it doesn't bother them, but there are some that it really does bother them to see all the balloons and teddy bears. And this is sometimes around the holiday that there's a lot of breakups going on, where people are so caught up into getting the gifts and not really realizing what type of relationship that they're in, and they stay in a relationship that is not good because they want to get those gifts and those things. So I just wanted to encourage, and that's what we're going to be talking about for the month of February, is our topics are going to be talking about love, and we're going to be going over some things on love and different aspects of love, because I consider this the love month because of Valentine's Day. And as I said, being in retail, you see everything starting to come up and things are out there, and you're starting to see the signs of Valentine's Day is coming. So what we're going to talk about tonight, and our topic is called I'm Fine. How many know someone out there that that's single, that you talk to, and you're talking to them and they're just, oh, I'm fine, everything is okay, it's going to be okay, I'm fine. Yes, it is Valentine's month, I'll be all right, I'm fine. And really goodness where they're not fine. And, just want to talk about that, because a lot of times we kind of miss the signs. And sometimes we don't want to know the truth. When people ask you in another commercial or the movies, say, you can't handle the truth. A lot of times people they'll come to you and they'll ask you how are you doing? And you tell them, do you really want to know how I'm doing? Being single and out here, it's not easy. It's hard. It's not like it used to be. And a lot of times you're not fine. A lot of people are not fine. And it's okay to say that. It's okay. And I had a conversation with someone, and we were talking about this, that we'll hear those saying some people are just, they are satisfied with being single and they don't need anyone and all that. And that is all good and fine. There are some people out there that are single that will love companionship, want to be in a relationship, do want to get married. And so, I'm talking to you out there. It is okay. It is not fine. It's all right to tell the truth and show your truth. If you're not fine, say that you're not fine. Let people know, yes, I enjoy being single. I like being single, but there are times that I am not fine. There are times where I don't want to be single. There are times when I want companionship. There are times where you want to be able to go out and have a conversation with someone that is not 5 years old. Especially those of you who have kids, you find yourself probably spending more time with your children than anything. And there are days when you want to have that, I always say, that adult conversation with someone, and not just always with your girlfriends. A lot of times people say, well, you have your girlfriends or your BFF or your sisters and stuff to go out and talk and hang out with. And that is fine. That is wonderful. But there are some women and there are some people out there that are single that are longing for being able to have a conversation with some of the opposite sex. And we have to stop putting the myth on the people saying that is not good. It is okay. We are creatures. We are creatures that seek companionship. We have been created for that. We are being created for conversation. So those things, it is okay. And people have to understand that it is okay to be in that situation, to say that you're not fine. So it's okay to say, no, I am not fine. The honest truth is I'm not fine. It's February. It is Valentine's is coming up, and I'm not fine. You get sick of seeing all the lovey-dovey and things going on and all that stuff, and you want to have your moment. I'm here to tell you, you can have your moment. But I'm a firm believer, have your moment, sit in it, take a deep breath, and move on. Don't allow yourself to sit in it too long of that moment of being not fine, okay? So it's okay to say, I'm fine, but I'm really not fine. It's really hard out here being single. Valentine's Day is coming around. Co-workers are getting flowers and candy. And I wish I was getting some of those things. And it's okay to be honest. I want people to learn how to be honest, because when we be honest with ourselves, then we be honest with others, and then that's when the deliverance happens. The deliverance and part doesn't happen. The transformation part doesn't happen where we're not being honest and transparent. Be honest and tell your truth. And your truth is to say, yes, I am tired of being alone. Yes, I'm tired of going out to dinner by myself. Yes, I'm tired of going to the movies by myself. yes, I'm tired of doing these things by myself because I am single. And yes, there are days that I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy going to I enjoy going out. I don't want no one to invade my space. And there's a times that we go through that too. But I'm just here to encourage you that it's okay to say, I'm not fine. You know, we put I am fine, all is well in our vocabulary. We say it so much even when we're not. So people don't know when we're not and when we are. So as being single, as I said, this time of the year, it's okay to tell people that you're not fine. It's okay to tell people that you're having problems and you're having issues when it comes around this time of the year. So, you know, I just want to encourage you in that aspect. Also, you know, being, especially a single Christian woman, it becomes very difficult. People don't understand that. You know, we have people set rules for those of us that are single Christians, that you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this and you can't do that. You know, we have to stop allowing those blockers. It's okay. There's some things we have to learn, and we have to learn to guide our heart. I want to talk about that. Guide our hearts, our ears, our eyes, and our thoughts. Okay, you know, yes, as a single Christian, we can't do some things, but we also have to guard our hearts, our eyes, and our ears, and our thoughts when it comes to this walk of being single. You know, and it's very hard, because when you're longing for companionship, when you're longing for being able to want to go out with someone to do some things, especially those of us who hasn't been saved our lives, you know, you wasn't born saved in the church, okay? You know, you are someone who has been out in the world. You're used to companionship, you're used to dating, but now you come to Christ and you want to do it the right way. You want to do things right. So it's okay. So guiding our hearts, our ears, our eyes, and our thoughts is so important. I just want to throw some things out there to maybe encourage you, to help you kind of stay on task, especially this time of the year. Okay, so guarding your ears, when your ears want to hear those sweet nothing things, when your ears want to hear those sweet things that you will hear from a man whispered in your ear, especially at this time of the year, you know, guard your ears and watch what you're listening to. Those of you who are out there maybe in relationships that are kind of shaky, you're not sure, be careful of what's going into your ear gates. Make sure he is meaning what he says or she is meaning what she says. So, you know, guard your ears and how and what we listen to. Music. Be careful with the slow jams. Some of us, we hear certain songs and that's it. That it takes us back. You have those songs that take you back, you know, and I'm not talking about the Christian songs, but you have some songs, you got some Keith Sweat that takes you back, you got some R. Kelly's that take you back, you got some songs that when you hear them, it takes you back. And it may put you in a situation that you don't want to be in. So guard your ears. Sometimes you can't listen to certain songs if you're not strong enough and able to deal with that. So be careful with that. Another thing, your thoughts. You know, don't allow your thoughts to take you back. And that's when it comes to, you know, sitting in something, you take time with it, sit in it, breathe, and keep moving. Don't allow your thoughts, because a lot of times this time of the year, the enemy starts to play tricks on your mind. You're at home, you're by yourself, you're in the bed, and you start to think back when you were in a relationship with this guy, and when you used to do this with this person. And if you haven't done what I always say, if you haven't done, delete those numbers out your phone, and those numbers are still in your phone, that is an avenue of the enemy to have you go back, and your thoughts will start to come up. And now you want to pick up the phone, and now you want to hit a number, and you want to dial someone that you really don't want to dial. But you're dialing because you're sitting and dwelling in the thoughts of what coulda, shoulda, woulda been if we were still together. Knowing that the relationship was toxic, a lot of times we forget all about the toxicity of the relationship. But that we'll sit there and put ourselves in a situation saying, well, you know, I'm here alone, it's Valentine's, things, everybody's getting this, everybody's getting that. And you have this person's number in your phone, and you're like, well, I wonder what he's doing. And nowadays we don't call, we text first. So we'll send a nice little text, and we'll wait, and they'll send us a text back, and we're like, oh, okay, he's talking, he responded, he knows what it is. That's the way of the enemy. That's the trick of the enemy, to get you off track and get you off focus of what God has for you. And you have to be very careful in those type of situations. So sometimes, as I always say, my favorite thing is delete. I had to go through a process myself where I had to actually go through and start to delete phone numbers of people that I talked to, guys that I dated or been with or went out with, and started deleting. And then I'm going through the list, and then there was a couple of them, I don't think I'm going to delete him. I'm going to keep him on it. So you call yourself keeping them on there, and you delete everybody else, and you keep that one on there, because you're like, well, Lord, we still kind of, things. And then, the flesh starts to talk, and the flesh is going to talk, and the flesh is going to tell you to go ahead, it's okay. And the spirit is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. And your flesh is saying, it's okay. God knows your heart. He'll forgive you. And your spirit is saying, don't do it. And we'll get ourselves in situations where we'll pull those numbers out. And ladies, we'll dial that number. We'll hear that voice on the other end, and that's all she wrote. So don't put yourself in that kind of position during this time of the year. If you have to take that moment to go through your phone and actually start deleting these people's numbers that God has told you to delete in the first place, that we don't want to delete, and we think we're keeping them, and God don't know we keeping them, and He sees all, and we're sitting there kind of skipping over people thinking, well, God don't know if I still got it in here. Yes, He does. So go ahead and start to delete those numbers and get them out of your phone line, because you don't want to get yourself caught up in an uncompromising position around this time of the year. Because this time of the year, I'm telling you, ladies, the enemy will pull on those heartstrings. He knows your heart. He knows your vulnerability. He knows what your heart desires, and he knows it's not hard. It's not easy being single and stuff. So he'll start pulling on those heartstrings. So you really have to watch those things. You have to know your weaknesses and your triggers. And I think I talked about this before in another video, but knowing your weakness and your triggers. If your trigger is sex and you are allowing God to work on you in that area, and that is an area that we're probably going to talk about a little bit more down the line, but if you know that area of you that is sex is your problem area, you have to learn, you're going to have to know your weaknesses. Do not put yourself in a situation where those feelings start to come up. And what I mean, put yourself in that situation, sometimes we have to be careful of what we watch on TV, movies that we go and see. And actually, if we are in a relationship with someone, or if you are going out and you're seeing someone and they're coming and you guys are dating, whatever, you have to be careful of that situation. Don't allow them to stay overnight. Because if he's staying overnight at your house, that puts you in that vulnerable situation that you end up having sex when you really don't want to. Don't do it. Don't stay over his house either. You have to know your triggers. So you have to know what triggers you, and you have to be honest with yourself of knowing your triggers. Because once you know your triggers, then you know how to control those hormones and things when they start to rev up, and when you won't put yourself in compromising positions. So if you know that sex is your weakness, be careful what you're watching on TV. Be careful of the type of movies you're putting in your eye gaze and you're hearing. I always say when you go to movie theater, you're hearing it and you're also seeing it, because you're seeing it on a big screen and you're hearing it in your ear, and that's how the enemy gets in. So don't put yourself in position. Don't have him staying overnight and he's gonna sleep on the sofa because it's late and we went out to dinner and we just got back home late, and he's just gonna sleep on us. We know that ain't gonna work, so we gotta stop lying to ourselves. He ain't gonna sleep on no sofa, and if he's sleeping on the sofa, he ain't gonna be there too long. So don't take all the hard work that you have done for deliverance and getting yourself through. Don't compromise that. Don't allow the enemy to come and take that away. So don't put yourself in compromising positions. As I said, watch the movies, watch the slow jams. If music is your forte, be careful. Be careful with the slow jams. Like I said, they take us back. You put yourself in that position. You're hearing this song. And now, hormones are revving. So, be careful. I love the slow jams, but there are some I cannot listen to because it starts to bring me back. You start listening to certain songs and you kind of start to thinking, I remember when. But you don't want that to happen, because that is the way the enemy tries to step his foot in and get you in a position that you don't want to be in. So, as I said, this is the month of love, and we want you to encourage you and, to be able to survive that lovely, wonderful, dreadful day of Valentine's Day that a lot of us don't like, and some of us do that are single. But there's so many things that you can do for yourself. And before we sign off, I just want to encourage you. There's so many things that you can do for yourself during that time of Valentine's Day. Take yourself out, buy yourself some candy, mail yourself a card. There's so many things that you can do. Don't allow the enemy to have you sitting home being depressed because you are not in a relationship and you can't get the teddy bears and the cards and the candy, and you don't get the dinner and all that stuff. Don't allow the enemy to feed that into your head and start you thinking, what's wrong with me? Why I don't have anybody? Lord, why is it taking so long for you to send somebody? You start to go through those things. Treat yourself to some. Treat yourself to a spa. Treat yourself to get your nails done if you haven't done it in a while. Treat yourself to get your hair done if you haven't done it in a while. Do some things for yourself during Valentine's. Even go bless someone else. Go to a nursing home and bless an elderly person with a Valentine, or some kids. These are things you can do to keep yourself from being in compromising positions. And these are things that you can do to keep yourself from the enemy attacking you and having you sitting at home, being depressed. And now, you're going to the store. You don't want to go out to the store because now you got to go to Walmart. You got all these balloons floating all over the store that says love and hugs. And now you don't want to do all those things, because the enemy has put that spirit of depression on you. So don't allow that to happen. Treat yourself out for Valentine's Day. You be your Valentine. If you got kids, take your kids out for Valentine's. Do some things that you would never usually normally do. Go to a sip and paint party. Go to one of those places and learn how to paint. Go out and do some roller skating. Go bowling. But treat yourself for Valentine's. And don't allow the month to get you in that funk that you now are depressed and upset. So I said, our topic for tonight was I'm fine. And I just wanted to encourage you that sometimes we'll tell ourselves that. People will ask you, well, how are you doing? You tell them, oh, I'm fine. And really, in reality, you're not fine. Sometimes tell your truth. Be truthful. Tell them, do you really want to know how I really feel? That time they may say, yeah. You say, do you really want to know? And it's okay. Share with them how you feel. This time of the year, this month of February is not a good month for me. I get a little depressed because I'm single. I don't get all the things. You see all the stuff going on, and some days you wish you had it, and wish you don't want no one to know that you're in that funk and you feel that way. It's okay. We have to start allowing people to know those things. Because when they know those things, they know that you're real, you're human, you have a heart, and you feel. And that just because we're single, everyone, we're single, we're happy being single, but not all the time. Not all the time. We love being single, but there are days that you get tired of being single, and it's okay to let people know and share with them, so they can be encouraged and understand the situation of being a single person. That there are times that it's not easy. So as I always say, put your hearts down there, put your comments down there. If there was something that encouraged you, please let me know, so I know that you are being encouraged. And as I said, this month is our month of love. We're going to be talking about different things that have to do with love, relationships, loving yourself, loving your relationship with Christ. If you have some wonderful things you want to share, as I always say, put down your comment buttons, share them with us, let us know so we can encourage each other. Because what you may share, your story may bless someone else. It doesn't have to be my story, but your story can be a blessing to someone else. So if you put those things down there, and we're keeping each other encouraged, and bless each and every one of you. And I thank you all for joining me for this Late Night Chronicles with Pam. And as I said, keep us in prayer and keep us lifted up as we keep you lifted up and encouraged. So I thank each and every one of you for joining in on this evening. I hope you were blessed. I hope something said was a blessing to you or to someone that you may know. Let them know. Hit our videos up. As I said, I am on Instagram at Miss Pamela Jordan. So hit me up on Instagram. Follow me so I can follow you, so we can keep that chain of going, of encouraging each other and being a blessing to each other. And just let me know. I love you all. Thank you for joining me this evening. God bless you all, and have a wonderful, awesome, marvelous, wonderful evening. God bless you all. Thank you, Tanisha. Love you. Talk to you in a little bit.